Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video on some yummy food that I made the other day. I made vegetarian empanadas and they were so freaking good, so I had to share it with you guys. I served mine with some black beans and rice with a little bit of corn and some grilled asparagus, but you can serve it with whatever you want, but this recipe was so good, so you should definitely try it out. The first thing you're going to want to do is get all your vegetables ready to saute. I sauteed some onions and peppers to add into my mix. So here I just wanted to make sure that I cut my onions in small pieces. So I just sliced my onions up. You can slice it however you like, but I wanted them in almost diced. So I prefer red onions just because they're a little bit sweeter, but you can definitely use the yellow or white onions, whatever you have in your house. So just slice these up. I also sliced up some peppers, and you're gonna want to have some oil ready on the stove just so you can throw those in there to saute. So make sure you stir the onions and peppers with the oil. I just put a little bit of salt and pepper and garlic powder in there, and it will take about 20 to 30 minutes to get caramelized. So just stir it, make sure it's not sticking or burning, and let it go. Just make sure you cover it. I have some water boiling for some brown rice, so I boiled about 2 cups of water and I put in about 1 cup of rice. I also put in a little bit of butter into the water, and make sure you cover that. I like to add some corn to my mix, but you can use canned corn if that's what you have and want to use. I prefer to use corn off the cob because it's really sweet and gives a really nice fresh taste. I try to use as much fresh ingredients as possible. So this is raw, I haven't cooked it yet. I just cut all the kernels off as close to the cob as possible, and I just am going to add that. I added a little bit to the rice, and then everything else that was left over, I added it to my onions and peppers. Just make sure you mix everything. Everything should be covered. Next thing I did was I cooked up 3 veggie burgers. These are really good veggie burgers. I got them at Costco. They have like broccoli, corn, carrots all inside of it. So it's not a bean burger, it's a veggie burger. So it's just full of vegetables. They're really yummy. So I cooked up 3 of them in the convection oven just to get them a little crispy and warm. So I cut them up and I'm putting them in a bowl. This is kind of like the base to my ground beef that you would use in an empanada. So I'm just putting them in a bowl, and then I'm just going to mash them up. I want it to be like a ground beef consistency. So I'm just mashing it all up to use that as my filling. You can use bean burgers if that's what you have, or any kind of veggie patties, whatever you have. Just just get creative with making the filling. When this is done, I opened a can of black beans. I wanted to add some fiber and some substance to my filling, so I added about half of the can to my filling, just to give it a little bit of taste and a little bit more density. I then added the rest of the peppers and onions into the mixture. It's hot, so you might want to let it cool a little bit if that's what you want to do. I added all that in there, and then I filled up that pan with oil so it can get hot for frying later. I then mix up everything so it gets a nice consistency. You can then taste and season it however you like. Again, I added a little bit more garlic powder, some fresh garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, and a little bit of red pepper flakes, and this is basically what it should look like. Kind of like a ground beef consistency with all your veggies and everything in there. It looks so good. This is my secret ingredient. I got this at Costco. It's like a jalapeno pineapple sauce. It's like a little spicy and a little sweet. I just added a touch of that just to give it a little flavor, and you can definitely taste it when it was done. You can taste the sweetness with the corn and a little spicy with the red pepper flakes. It was amazing. So again, all the names to everything will be in the bottom bar, so you can check that out for the exact names and recipe details. Yeah, so just mix that up good, and then you're going to want to get your empanada things and a fork and a spoon. I like to stretch mine out a little bit. I put it on the cutting board, I put a little scoop in my filling, and then I like to try to stretch it over and fold it without the filling coming out. You can use your utensils. I use my fingers to kind of ooze everything together, and then you want to fork all the sides together, kind of like you would a pie. Make sure you do the back side as well, or else when you fry it, the filling will all come out. And then you just place it in the fryer. If you have one that's ripped like this, just try to patch it together and fork it together at the end. They're definitely still usable, so don't throw those away or don't use them. They're definitely usable. And then you do the same thing over and over and over. Make sure you fork the front all the way through and the back. Another thing that you can do to help it cook better and to be less greasy, just poke 2 holes in the patty, and that will help you to get all the oil out like this. Just poke once, 2, just poke the holes, and when you fry, there won't be a bunch of oil stuck in the inside. Basically just do this over and over and over until you have used all of your fillings. Just make sure you check whatever you have on the oven. You don't want these patties to overcook and burn, because that will then make them too dry and that will just ruin it. This is how it should look when it's frying. When the edges get a little brown, that's when you know you need to flip them over. It just takes some tongs. Be careful that you don't splatter anything on yourself, but flip them over. You want the outside to be golden brown like that. You don't want it to be too dark because you want it to be crispy but still soft. So this is the perfect color for me. I have a pan with some paper towel laid out, and that's where I place them so the oil gets seeped into the paper towel so the empanadas are not too oily. So that's my trick about that. Again, I have some rice cooking here as well with some beans and corn, and that's what I use as my side dish, but again, you can use anything else. I wanted it making asparagus at the end as well, but I did not show that because I felt that was self-explanatory. And then you're done, you're ready to serve. Again, I served mine with rice and beans and asparagus with a little bit of salt and pepper on the asparagus. The empanadas were so good. They were crispy, but the inside was soft, and the dough wasn't overcooked, so it left a really good flavor. The inside was amazing, full of vegetables, so freaking good. I had about 3 that night, and I had 2 the next day for breakfast. It was a hit, and I can't wait to make it again. Here I am trying it for the very first time after making it, and as you can see, I was highly impressed and very good. This was like a spur of the moment thing I wanted to make. I didn't see any recipe. This is straight off the top of my head. I just wanted to show you that you can get creative with the things that you use as far as using the veggie patties or burgers as fillings for other things. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you tried it out or if you have ever made something like this. It's a great vegetarian recipe, so you're not eating the same stuff over and over. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't seen my video about tips on becoming a vegetarian, I'll link that video in the info bar. Check that out. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!